Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Kyle and Mike from the Fantasy Phenom. We're back breaking down today's 10-game main slate. Obviously, we actually have, so we've already had this Tigers game done. That is completed. There's this. Matt Boyd pitched a hell of a game, 46 points on FanDuel. Now we got Cleveland and Chicago White Sox going. Carlos Carrasco, clearly the chalk of the early slate. So I'm looking good on this early slate. I'm excited about this main slate, man. Another couple cheap pitchers that we can target today. And I know Glasnow did not work yesterday at all. -7 FanDuel points. Terrible chalk. Terrible chalk. Michael Pineda went and had himself a game. And Chris Sale had himself a game. And for what it's worth, I was just telling Mike this about before the show. So baseball is going to be extremely hard to project points, right, in terms of points per, like, accurate points, like a 20-point projection and the player actually gets 20 points, right? It's not as easy as basketball. One thing that has worked really, really well, though, so far, is strikeout projection. And we talk about pitchers and how strikeouts are the number one highest correlating stat to performance. For what it's worth yesterday, Chris Sale and Michael Pineda were the two highest projected strikeout pitchers. Also the two highest scoring projected pitchers, and both went out, and I believe they were the two highest scoring pitchers, if I'm not mistaken, correct? 63 and 51 on FanDuel?
I'm talking about Pineda and Verlander?
Sale. Verlander didn't pitch well
and
at all.
Sale. No, yeah, he didn't get many strikeouts, but
so check this out.
I guess on that early slate, he would have been okay to have in your lineup.
Check this out. Verlander was only projected for 4.3 strikeouts. Guess how many strikeouts he ended with?
I don't know, like 4 or 5, right?
He had 4. Yep.
I did see a stat that when Sale and Verlander go up against each other, I think Verlander's 5-0.
Interesting. So,
very interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. So what was the ownership percentage on Glasnow yesterday?
33% in GPPs.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super cheap. That's for sure.
I heard he got talked up on Roto Grinders, and so as soon as that came out, I knew he was going to be chopped.
Goodness.
Yeah. Obviously.
That'll do it. How about Big Mike, though, man? No, perfect game into the 7th inning. Yeah. Chase Headley's playing like a god right now. Ronald Torreyes leading the Yankees in RBIs. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I think I'm in a dream or something.
You also you called Jeremy Hellickson yesterday. Or I'm sorry,
Hellickson.
Jared Eichhoff. Dude,
had didn't do that. He's a good pitcher, I think. I mean, given certain spots, I think you can look at him. You know.
Yeah. So he had himself a game. DeGrom did not. DeGrom played terrible.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
He beat me up. I went DeGrom over Pineda.
That hurts.
It does.
Jay Bruce also. So me and Mike were looking at this, right? Because we're trying to compare and see, this matchup WOBA and how big of a stat it is. We talk about how big of a stat WOBA is, how important it is. And we went through and looked. So Jay Bruce was your highest scoring player yesterday. Jay Bruce's matchup WOBA was 343. If I'm not
position.
Huh?
Position player, like hitter.
Yeah. So his matchup WOBA, I believe, was 343. This is obviously today's. Eugenio Suarez was also up there. He had a very high projected he was average. He was like 317, which is right at average. But he checked all the other boxes. He had a high ISO, high hard contact, and high fly ball ratio. Will Myers was not projected extremely high matchup WOBA, but he had a good game. So there is that. We're looking at someone.
Second player in Padres history to hit for the cycle.
Yep.
Will Myers.
So I'm telling you guys, more than not, this stat means something. And it's not, WOBA is not the end all, but again, I'll repeat it like always, it's the most correlating stat. And again, for those of you new to the show, or hearing it for the first time, WOBA is a weighted on-base percentage. And just like
average.
Average. Just like in
Same thing.
Just like in DFS, where home runs are weighted more than triples and triples are weighted more than doubles, WOBA does the same. It weighs home runs more than triples, triples more than doubles, singles more than walks, right? And so it essentially tells you how the percentage of an extra base outcome, I guess you could say. Same with ISO, right? So a higher matchup WOBA means more, a higher percent chance of home runs, triples, doubles.
Doubles, yeah. So the hits to get you the points. The hits, because you can have a guy that goes 2 for 5 with 2 singles with no other stats, and he's not going to really do much for your team. Obviously, that's a good day for him, but it's not really a good day for your fantasy team.
Exactly. It's not a fantasy.
So if you're looking just as average, you're really selling yourself short as far as trying to find upside with your fantasy lineups, and that's where WOBA, ISO, hard contact, those things kind of come more into play when trying to predict a home run or a line drive in the gap, things like that.
Exactly. So, for example, let's say, for example, Billy Hamilton had. Actually, no, we're not going to use him because he gets stolen bases. Let's say Joe Mauer, I think, is a good example. Joe Mauer is a pure average hitter. Does great at getting on base. Rarely hits extra bases. So you have a guy with a 300 average. That looks great, right? But when all you're getting is singles, it doesn't help you fantasy-wise. So if he has a 300 match or 300 average but a 250 WOBA, that means he's not getting extra base hits at all. He's getting walks and singles, and you don't want that for fantasy.
Yep. So again, we'll continue to stress these stats until it comes true. And what we're going to try and do for you guys, we're going to take the top hitters on every slate and show you, what their matchup WOBA was the day before, and we're going to try and show you this correlation that we believe in.
Yeah, and it'll never be 100%. It's baseball. Shit happens, but
absolutely,
we're a firm belief, and I think this will back it up as we start to test this. Firm belief that matchup WOBA, which is again a projection that we've formulated, so it's not something you'll find anywhere else. It's a projection that we've come up with, correlates with good days more than bad days.
Right. If you're playing every day, like we hope you guys are, which is very important in baseball and any sport. If you're playing every day, you're just looking for 51%, right, Kyle?
Exactly. You just want to be profitable. All right. Well, let's start here, man. Both these lineups confirmed. New York and Philadelphia. 2 teams played yesterday. We got Matt Harvey and Clay Buchholz on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Clay Buchholz, man, that dude fell off hard.
Yeah, I wonder where his head's at. Falling off as hard as he did, playing on the Phillies now. He did not have a good first outing against, I believe it was the Reds.
Yep.
But here he gets Harvey. Harvey obviously has a lot to prove. I'm here in the New York area, and his name is literally all over talk radio. So he's got a lot to prove. He obviously had a great first start against Atlanta, but that's not going to be enough to settle the score with him. So he gets the Phillies today in Philadelphia. It's a beautiful day out for a baseball game. What do you think? Do you think he backs it up 2 in a row?
Man, dude, it's hard. This Philadelphia team has some bats. I really like the
addition. I agree.
I like the addition of Michael Saunders. You see his WOBA versus right-handed bats is 350, an ISO of 211. That's a great ISO. A hard contact of 38%, fly balls of 33. I mean, Michael Saunders, I like this play today. Michael Franco has really struggled to start the year. I look at Odubel Herrera again. So here's where I think this is an important point, Mike. So let me zoom in real quick just so you see. Okay, so if you see Odubel Herrera here, his WOBA of 352, right? That's a really good WOBA. Above average is 340. His ISO is 135. That's relatively low. What this tells me is Odubel Herrera is not a home run hitter. He is a doubles and triples guy. And if you watch baseball and know Odubel Herrera, that backs it up, right? He is not a home run hitter.
Yeah, and I think if you look into numbers, so early on in the season, numbers that people understand, he was batting 346 with an 875 OPS. That also kind of mimics what you just said about ISO and WOBA.
Francisco Lindor just hit a home run.
Ayo. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the bats, too. I think the question is, do you think Harvey backs it up? Again, 55 strikes out of 77 pitches, had a great outing. Again, it was against the Braves. But I like this 1 through 3. I think Howie Kendrick is really hot. So is Odubel Herrera. Howie Kendrick has a hit in every game except for one. Odubel Herrera has a hit in every game this season.
Can I pause real quick, Mike? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
This reminded me. So, I just want to show you guys. Here's Francisco Lindor. Here's his matchup WOBA. 408.
Yeah, it's about as good as it gets.
400 is the threshold for great. It literally, there's no other rating above 400, and that's great. So, I just want to...
Thank you, Francisco Lindor, for proving a point.
So, for what it's worth, I just had to pause to show that because I saw that earlier. And best believe.
And the reason I said, I like Cesar Hernandez and Odubel Herrera, and then you look at look what he does against lefties too,
Yeah.
The proof's right there in the like, if you're looking at how do I target Matt Harvey, I think those are the two guys I'd be looking at. It's for most at bats.
You got to look at left-handed bats against Matt Harvey. His splits are real, man.
And I was saying this yesterday. Is like, yeah, I like the two lefties, but I don't mind going Howie Kendrick as well to fill out the stat. The guy's batting over 400 to start the season. Mm-hmm. He's got a WOBA 330. So just because it's a right-handed hitter doesn't mean I'm not going to look at him if I like the two guys he's sandwiched around.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I think you definitely look at left-handed bats on Philly today. I could see a 1-3-5 stack, Mike.
Good.
Cesar, Odubel, or Caesar. I said Cesar. Caesar, Odubel, and Saunders. And then on New York, I think you can. I look at left-handers on there as well, man. You got two. Look at their lineup today, man. They have two righties in the lineup, minus Matt Harvey. Granderson, Cabrera obviously bats switch. And then Jay Bruce, Neil Walker, Lucas Duda, and then they moved Jose Reyes all the way down to 7. I think I fade Reyes today. But I do like Granderson leading off. He's a natural leadoff hitter.
I think you look for a one-off to get a home run here. And I think Granderson's the guy because he's given 5 at-bats. He just kind of increases your chances, really. And you look at the WOBA, the ISO, hard contact, all above average.
Yeah. I think Jay Bruce as well, man. If there is one player in the league that is streaky, it's Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce, when he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, and he's hot right now. He leads the league in home, or he's tied for the lead with 4. So you talk about a plus matchup. Jay Bruce is, I see him, especially in that cleanup spot, man. There's RBI potential there, home run potential. I think Jay Bruce is the one-off I go to in this game, personally.
Yeah, and I think if he continues to stay hot too, I think Cespedes is eventually going to benefit batting in front of him.
True that.
I mean, obviously he's not performed to his level of play, and I think at a 382 WOBA, highest on the team, that's the only reason I think we're avoiding him. Also that he's righty versus righty, but again, if you look at the numbers, I mean, he gives up more home runs to righties than lefties, so I don't know. I'm off of Cespedes until he proves it to me, but I think if Bruce continues to stay hot, Cespedes is going to come more and more to play, trying to predict when he breaks out.
It's a fair point. We got Cincinnati-Pittsburgh. This game has since moved from a red game to a green game in terms of it'll be played. You got rookie Davis on the hill for Cincinnati. Great name. And Jameson Taillon.
For a rookie?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting when he's a veteran.
Yeah, right? Wonder if he changes it or go back to his real name.
Oh, shoot. This lineup is confirmed. Okay, so we missed on the Pittsburgh prospect yesterday with Glasnow. Do we attempt it again with Taillon? I mean, again, the Cincy offense is not great, so.
I think Tyone's a better prospect. I mean, he's proven himself last year a little, more than Glasnow did. And then you look at what he did against Sale in that when they went head to head.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason his price jumped almost did jump $2,000 on DraftKings. He didn't give up a hit. He didn't give up a run. He struck out 6, only gave up 2 fly balls and 95 pitches. So, scoreless 7 innings against Chris Sale in Boston is pretty impressive for a young guy.
Look at his fly ball percentages, too. 26%. That's great.
Yeah.
1 out of every 4 hits in play is a fly ball.
Mm-hmm.
I like that ratio.
And obviously, you don't get as much credit for a win as you used to, but going up against Ricky Davis in Pittsburgh, if you're trying to project a win for a pitcher, I think he's got to be up top.
I can actually tell you what his projection is.
If you look at the money line, too, it also seconds that statement.
I have his win projection at 65%.
It's pretty good for baseball.
That is very good for a starting pitcher.
If your team finishes 65% wins, you're definitely in the playoffs.
Glass was ass.
I like that Gorilla Juice.
Jordan says Tyon is going to take over Cole as the ace of the Pirates this year.
That'd be fun. I haven't seen enough of him as far as like watching a full game, but from what I've seen, he's got that composure. He's got that look, man.
All right, so looking at these Pirate bats, so obviously if we like Tyon, I don't think we like anyone on Cincinnati. Again, you always have Joey Votto and Adam Duvall in play, right? They're always going to be home run potential. Other than that, I'm not.
And if you want to, I think if you want to look at, I think Suarez in his last 3 games, you have to look at 5 for 10 with 2 homers, a double, and 4 walks with a stolen base.
Guy's another streaky hitter. Again,
that is pretty impressive, and I don't know. It's something to look at. Then you said Duvall.
Yeah, Duvall's always home run potential. So
you pick your spots with Billy Hamilton. Obviously, Billy Hamilton's got multi-hit games in each of his last 3 of his last 4, which maybe he's figured something out. I don't know, but I don't think I picked a spot for him.
Yeah. I do like a mini Pirate stack again today, though. So I'm looking at Josh Bell in that number 2 hole. And then I'm looking
I saw that.
And then I'm looking at Gregory Polanco again. I know that he burned some people the other day. I was high on him. But I go right back there. I think, again, he's coming around, man. I'm telling you.
You're talking about Polanco or McCutchen?
Polanco. I mean, McCutchen, too. McCutchen almost hit a home run yesterday. You can always look at him as well. McCutchen hits righties.
I think 1 through 4 is in play. I don't necessarily love or hate it, but the numbers don't lie. They're going up against rookie Davis. Mm-hmm. So 1 through 4 is in play.
Polanco has the highest ISO of the team versus right-handed batting at home, for what it's worth. Higher than McCutchen. So I don't know, man. I like Polanco today, especially in that cleanup spot. 36% fly ball rate.
If I'm looking strictly at numbers, I like McCutchen, but that's just because of 40% hard contact against righties. That's pretty unreal. Obviously, those are 3-year statistics, so last year was a significant drop-off for him, and last year was a significant breakout for Polanco, so definitely read a little bit into that.
The fact that McCutchen's
just generally speaking, you go left to righty.
The fact that his numbers are still that high speaks volumes about the years he had prior.
Exactly.
St. Louis and Washington, Gio Gonzalez, Lance Lynn. So
you could have went 9 deep with Washington yesterday. 19 hits, I think.
Yeah.
No homers, though, so maybe that wouldn't have won you any money.
Steven Drew was the play of that game.
Yeah, Steven Drew is not above average.
At anything.
At anything. His name is Steven Drew. It's about as average of a name as it gets.
Don't point chase, please. Please. I know he's going up against a right-handed batter again, but please don't do it. He's not gonna have another 30-point game.
Yeah, Lensland's not really a strikeout guy, not really a big strikeout pitcher. His numbers against lefties are pretty eye-opening as well, so that made me start looking. And since Adam Eaton's been in the leadoff spot, he's been playing pretty well. Granted, it's only 2 games, but, I mean, he's a proven player. And now he's getting an extra bat, most likely.
Yeah. So I love Adam Eaton in the 1 hole. I don't look at Defo today. That's not my first pick, but I think you can go right back to Bryce. You can go right back to Daniel Murphy. Daniel Murphy's been hot. Bryce obviously had a good game yesterday, so I can look at both those guys. Adam Eaton. I think this Eaton, Harper, Murphy stack is going to be in play the whole year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Eaton and Harper. If I was just going to go 2, if you can't afford all 3, I'd pick Harper over Murphy.
Corey says he isn't even the best Drew. JD was better. I forgot about that guy. Fuck. He killed the Giants too. I hated him.
I'm struggling to find who I like on St. Louis.
I like Aledmus Diaz. I like this WOBA of 343 and ISO of 207. The only thing I don't like is this hard contact, man. 24% is not a good number for me.
What are your thoughts on Randall Grichuk as a one-off? Those numbers are pretty impressive. That ISO, and then you look at hard contact, fly ball.
Yeah, 50%. 50% of his hits against righties on the road, or lefties on the road, are fly balls.
Gio doesn't really give up the home run. And this dude's a big hacker, so definitely a punt.
It's a punt for sure. I think I don't know his exact price, but yeah, I could see it. I think I like Diaz, but he's expensive. He's $3,400 on FanDuel, so.
His price, Randall Grichuk's price is $3,700
on DraftKings.
Yeah, it's not too cheap.
What are your thoughts on Gio as a pitcher?
I kind of like it. I mean,
he had a really nice outing last time. Gio's a hit or miss guy though. Gio's not known for his consistency, that's for sure.
I mean, at one point he was an
ace.
Yeah. So there's something to be said about that, you know. Maybe he can string together a good April.
His April numbers aren't bad. He does average a lot of strikeouts in April. Over the last 3 years, he's averaged 9 Ks per 9. So there's that. And his home runs, 0.4. Again, Gio doesn't give up home runs, like Mike said. He doesn't have any situation where he gives up 1 per 9.
And I know St. Louis is not playing well. I'm going to try and find a team batting average. But I know it's not good as early on in the season.
Milwaukee, Toronto. This is a game that people should be over for good reason. People should be on, I should say. Toronto's heavy favorites. J-Hap pitched relatively well against Baltimore's first time out. He gets Willie Peralta, who has an amazing WOBA when you're looking at stacking against him versus left-handed bats. 369 versus left-handed bats. So also gives up 1.35 home runs per 9 against lefties. And doesn't strike out left. He doesn't strike out people in general. 6 Ks per 9.
Yeah, that performance from Hap. Again, I was talking to you. I think this is a very intriguing pitching matchup. Because both these games seemingly outperformed their profile in the first game. You know, J-Hap had struck out 9 Orioles in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And then you look at Willie Peralta, he struck out a bunch of Rockies, you know, in Miller Park. He had 5 Ks. So, I mean,
that's about average where he averaged.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he got the win. He looked good. I remember watching that game, hoping the Rockies would hit.
Yeah, we stacked the Rockies in that game.
So maybe I'm a little biased on that performance, but again, it's interesting.
Teams. We've been stacking the Rockies and Astros, and I'm not anymore. I learned my lesson, but we've been talking about those 2 teams all year, and when are they going to do something?
By the way, this finally loaded. The Cardinals are batting as a team 216.
That's not good at all.
Currently this season.
Corey says his bold call of the day here is Justin Smoke batting in the 6 hole. We talk about what Willie Peralta. Bro,
stealing my thunder.
Look at this right here. Look at these numbers.
No.
40% hard contact, 40% fly ball, .20 or .21 ISO. That's above great, and a 335 WOBA, right about above average.
Yep, I was gonna go there as well with Justin Smoke, and I had Jet Bandy, but they took him out of the lineup for
Manny Pena.
Yeah, because Jet Bandy had some good numbers against lefties. And he had a home run last game or 2 games ago. Anyway, great power versus righties for Smoke. The numbers don't lie there.
His natural side is the left-hand side.
Also, you're looking at Ryan Goins, obviously getting his first start of the season because of the matchup. I don't know that you look at that really, but just something to point out. Also, something to watch here. Jesus Aguilar led the majors in home runs in the spring. Won a job on this team, and now is getting regular playing time for Milwaukee when he wasn't really meant to make this team. Right now, you don't see any. Is Hernan Perez in that lineup?
He is today. That is
they've been rotating him. They've been rotating him and Eric Thames and Travis Shaw, and now Jesus Aguilar is in play. He's under 3K. He's batting over almost 500 on the season. So
obviously, Toronto stack. Where I'm not touching Kendrys Morales. Not that he can't hit righties, but he destroys left-handed batting, if I'm not mistaken. Lefties is where right side of the plate is his strong side, I believe.
Who, Hap?
No, Morales. Morales doesn't hit righties as well as he does lefties.
Yeah, I mean, this Toronto team really hasn't been hitting very well either. And I have team stats right here. Let's look it up.
See, I look more at
Toronto's is hitting under 200 on the season. Obviously, it's their first game back home. Russell Martin doesn't have a hit all year. So maybe, this is their game against Willie Peralta. It could be.
I think you look there. I don't do a full four-man stack here. I think I look at Joey Bats, Justin Smoke, and maybe Troy Tulowitzki. But more so, if I'm doing anything, I guess you can look at Devon Travis as well. But I'm not going there. I like Jose Bautista and Justin Smoke the most on this Toronto side. I actually like a Milwaukee stack a little more.
I kind of like Hap today. I don't know what it is.
I'm not against Hap. I look at Ryan Braun. We know how well he hits lefties. We know how hot he is.
Mm-hmm. Same with Travis Shaw.
Domingo Santana, and then Jesus Aguilar. Clearly, we talked about
a lot of power right there.
That being a platoon, right? So, I don't know, man. I'm not.
You can look at Jonathan VR as well, leading off.
Mm-hmm. He got his first stolen base a couple games ago. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so it's tough. Again, this is a very intriguing game. I think it's hard to pinpoint where to go on Milwaukee early on in the season. It's been hard to stack the Blue Jays in a good matchup, which this is, and both these pitchers again kind of
outperformed.
Yeah,
expectations.
They weren't themselves. So I'm thinking one-offs and avoiding the pitching staff. I think if maybe you could punt Peralta with how the Blue Jays have been playing, because he's super cheap. But with Hap's price, I think there's plenty of pitchers around his price that I can roster safer.
Miami and Atlanta. We got Big Sexy on the mound for Atlanta, and Dan Straley on the mound for Miami. I think immediately I like a Freddie Freeman one-off. So Freddie Freeman's WOBA is 413 on the road versus right-handers. An ISO of 249, which is literally 0.01 points below excellent. A hard contact of 40% and a fly ball percentage of 34. And he's hot.
I agree. He's this is my problem with Freddie Freeman. So in 5 at-bats on Sunday, he had a double and 2 home runs with 2 RBIs.
There's no one to get on base.
Right. So the guy can go 4 for 5 with 3 extra base hits and only have 2 RBIs. Obviously, he had 43 points and destroyed value, but So I'm just saying, if the guy only gets one double today, is he going to score? Is he going to knock somebody in, or is it just going to be
a 6-point double
1 for 4 with a double? Yeah. But I agree with you. All the numbers really go with you. It's just like, look at the numbers around him. Is there really? Can you make a case for anybody? I'm thinking perhaps you can go Markakis to, if he gets on base, get him in.
It's about the only hope he has, really. Brandon Phillips is.
There's really no power on this team, man.
Freddie Freeman's the only guy over a 150. Sorry, no. Garcia has a 150 ISO, 156 at that. So there's only 2 players on this entire team that have above average, or even have average ISOs, and that's Freeman and Garcia.
Look at hard contact rate, man. There's only 2 guys that have over 30% hard contact. It's insane.
But with that said, I'm not targeting Dan Straley.
Freddie Freeman's is a power bat on a team that has to manufacture runs, unfortunately for him.
But the good thing is if Freddie Freeman gets a home run, he already hits value, and he's done his job.
And the other good thing is he's playing Dan Straley.
Exactly.
Who
gives up home runs.
Did they trade for him? Like, how did he get it to be a...
He was an opening day starter.
I know, that's what I'm saying. How did he get to be in Miami?
Second, because Volquez was opening day.
I guess they traded for him. But yeah, that was terrible. The first start against Washington. I think he should bode better in this game and could be a sneaky play, but...
I'm not saying to pick him.
Yeah, I'm not going to recommend him.
I do like a Marlin stack, though. I think you can look at D. Gordon. JT Realmuto staying hot right now, and he hasn't moved his price. His price is still $2,600 on FanDuel, Mike.
Yeah, no, he's jumped $700 on DraftKings since Sunday. He won Player of the Week honors in the NL, batting .500 with 4 extra base hits, and 4 out of his 5 games he has multiple hits. 6 ribbies already for a catcher. So they are liking. I did not expect him to come out to a hot start or even come close to what he did last year, but he is proving me wrong. And I think if you believe in the numbers,
remember he hits right.
He's sandwiched. He is sandwiched around 2 lefties.
That and
so that could be a nice little stack there.
I like Realmuto, Stanton, and Bohr today.
Bohr's got the power. He just hasn't shown it yet, man. He's just not. They believe in him though. He's been staying in that 5 hole, and
you talk about a guy that can. So Bartolo Colon, I believe, throws the most fastballs of any player in the league. It's literally he throws his fastball.
They're more like meatballs, but
yeah. But they're labeled fastballs. I think he throws it 75% of the time. Something crazy like that. So.
Hey, he's good at locating them.
He is. That's all he's made a career off of fucking throwing fastballs. But
it's like Kenny Powers.
Dude, I'm telling you, Stanton. God, this home run is coming for him, and I'm gonna keep rostering him until he hits it because it's coming. And once he hits one, dude, he's not stopping.
How do you feel about JT Riddle making his major league debut today? I looked into his minor league numbers,
I have no idea who
he has. Neither did I. So I looked into his minor league numbers and was like, okay, what is this guy profile? Is he like one of those hack and miss guys? He's a shortstop, so I didn't see him being one. And surely enough, he has 20 total home runs in the minor leagues.
And how long has he been there?
I mean, even if it's 3 years, that's enough.
Yeah, true.
So you're looking at a guy that might hit for. I think he's a career 280 hitter in the minor league. So I don't know if he's your
play.
And he's the dude. Get this, DraftKings is unreal, man. And he is the highest priced. Let's see. I'm trying to find Stanton. Stanton is 4,500. Yelich is 4,200, and then you have Mr. Riddle at 4K. Riddle me that.
Riddle me that. Oh God. Here Mike goes with his jokes again. That's crazy.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. I'll give you credit for that. That was better than your dad jokes.
Realmuto is 3,500, man.
Dude, he's
The
20.
player of the week in the NL is $500 cheaper than JT Riddle.
And he's still 2,600 on FanDuel, Mike. How? I don't know, but I'm rostering him. I have Real Muto in every single one of my lineups right now.
Yeah, that's insane. What about D. Gordon? You think he can be part of a stack today?
So D. Gordon, Real Muto. It's funny I'm overlooking Yelich, but it's just he's my. Not that he's a bad play, he's just the fifth guy that I would roster, and obviously on FanDuel you get four. So Gordon, Real Muto, Stanton, and Bohr would be my four if I stack from that game.
I mean, I like Yelich. I don't know if I like as much as you like Bohr. I do. I mean, I believe in Bohr, but again, he's another guy that really hasn't shown it yet.
I'll tell you what, though. I will pick Freddie Freeman over Bohr if I can get to him all day.
Oh, absolutely.
So
there ain't no question about that. But you're talking like on price range for first baseman on DraftKings. Travis Shaw at 31, Justin Bohr at 32, Mitch Moreland at 33.
So let me ask you. I was just gonna get there because we're at this game. Mitch Moreland is 27 and Justin Bohr is 27. I think I'm gonna go 50-50 on those guys because I like both, but Mitch Moreland is hot.
Right, yeah, he's moving up in the order. Or no, I think he's still at 5. But yeah, I like that too. Dylan Bundy and is another guy. I don't know if I want to pick on him right now, but
I'm not stacking Boston for sure.
I think you can. I think there are stacks in this game on both sides. It's just these are another two pitchers similar to the Milwaukee-Toronto game. It's like for some reason I'm feeling hesitant to pick on them, even though it's just been one start. Like. Why am I feeling this way? I feel like I should just put that behind me. Dylan Bundy's still Dylan Bundy, even though he...
Both these guys can strike out hitters, man.
Both these guys are super highly touted prospects. Yeah, the great strikeout pitchers. I mean, Boston obviously just lost 3 out of 4 in Detroit. They really need this this homestand to go right for them.
I'm all over Drew Pomeranz today. I'm going to have him in a couple lineups. And I look at these numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
261 WOBA versus lefties, 291 versus righties. 291 is considered poor for a batter. So that's good for a pitcher. I'll take that.
Yeah, all those numbers are pretty low when you look at WOBA and on base percentage. I mean,
I like his Ks as well. He strikes out at least 9. He has everywhere but one scenario where it's 8.8 that he has at least 9 Ks per 9. He strikes out a ton. Doesn't give up a ton of hard contact, 28%. And that doesn't give up a ton of home runs either. 0.6 versus lefties, 1.1 versus righties. So that is a little worrisome, especially against a righty-heavy lineup. But I don't know, man. He is the highest projected strikeout, or the highest projected strikeouts on the slate today for a pitcher. So take it for what it's worth. But I like Drew Pomeranz today. I'm not on Dylan Bundy yet.
I don't think I'm on him yet either. I like what you're saying though. I mean, if you look at predicting strikeouts, right? Like we said in the beginning,
Baltimore strikes out a ton.
Yeah, there's some free swingers over here. Obviously, I think you got to look at some of these righties though in Boston. I think Adam Jones kind of jumps out at me against Drew Pomeranz for his power. If I was going to pick one guy, perhaps Mark Trumbo.
Yep, you got to look at Trumbo.
But yeah, any one of these three guys, obviously, for their power, if you're trying to get a home run, I think that's where you got to look in Boston. And then, I don't know, I think Bogart's behind Moreland, man. I think, Moreland's obviously has 5 doubles in his last 4 games.
He's hot.
He's really hot right now. Hanley Ramirez comes back today.
He's in the 4-hole, yep. Also, for what it's worth, Mike, you mentioned Mark Trumbo. Historically, bats better versus right-handed than left-handed pitching. Drew Pomeranz is left-handed,
okay.
So...
Right. Yeah, I was thinking the park dimensions, that big old wall to bang a double off of.
I want to get your take on this because I like Palm better, but do you like Palm or Ray better today for strikeouts? I go Palm because San Francisco doesn't strike out.
Yeah, I agree.
San Francisco literally.
I'm trying to look at the pricing because that might have been a FanDuel question. I'm gonna see if they're close on DraftKings.
It's actually a DK question.
Oh, it was because I know Robbie Ray's price is he's second highest on the slate.
Wow. I guess.
And Dylan Bundy's only 6,800. So generally, if you felt you can definitely roster both of those guys, in my opinion. But if you're trying to pick one or the other to get strikeouts, I think it's safe to say that Drew Pomeranz will strike out more relative to his price. You know, like so if Robbie Ray and Pomeranz strike out the same amount, you know, Pomeranz will be the better play because they're saving $2,000.
Yep. No Trevor Story today. I didn't get that.
Interesting.
I didn't see that lineup. I guess it must have just come out because I haven't received the lineup. Anyways, so I guess we can look. We don't look there. Jared Weaver.
Is there anybody else we'd like? Hold on, I want to get back to Boston real quick, just because. If you're high on Pomeranz, I think there is a Boston stack in here. I do.
I personally am not doing it.
I don't know that it's worthy of its price. Mookie Betts has really done nothing so far this year, but I know at home this team is built for this ballpark, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if you really don't buy into Dylan Bundy's first start, I think you do have to buy into Boston playing him at home.
Okay.
As much as I hate to say that.
It's fair. I'm going Mitch Moreland and maybe Xander Bogaerts. That's about it I'm going for from Boston today. I'm not stacking them. San Diego and Colorado. Jared Weaver, man.
Yeah, still alive and well.
Good
somehow.
guy to target. Doesn't strike out people. Gives up a ton of home runs. And has a terrible WOBA. 336 versus lefties and 326 versus righties. Colorado.
So yeah, that's why I was trying to think who's going to get that start at shortstop. Do you think they'll just...
It's Cologne. Is what I see on FanDuel.
Cologne.
I was just looking there. So where do you stack?
There you go now.
Do you stack Colorado? It hasn't played how it lived up to.
Yeah. That might be a good thing, though, because maybe everyone's like, damn it, not again, 2-1. The heck's going on? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think same rules apply as yesterday. You know, I don't really think that there's anything new here to talk about that we didn't talk about yesterday. Obviously, Jeff Weaver is here, so it comes more into play. So, we got the same numbers on the board we did yesterday. You can go both sides of this matchup. Man.
Absolutely.
Vegas has the over-under at 12.
I had it at 11.5, but
maybe it's changed. Either way.
So I actually like Antonio today.
Antonio.
San Diego strikes out a ton. Coors is not.
At your own risk, Kyle.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say one or the other. I mean, obviously that's super contrarian. It doesn't really
it's always
go into any rules.
Pitching a Colorado pitcher in Colorado. I will still maintain my thought that this is the best Colorado. This is the best staff Colorado has probably ever had.
I don't know. You can say that about Antonio Sensatella, though, man. We don't even know who this dude is.
He pitched well against the Brewers in Milwaukee. That's a hitter's park. And the projected temperature is about 50 degrees today. And balls do not fly nearly as far. Josh posted a stat.
Yeah, I mean, the rules are there. I agree, but I'm not going to get on board with making a case for this. I mean, ask Will Myers how he felt about 50 degrees.
Just saying, man. I'm not telling you guys to play him. I'm just saying I'm going to have a lineup with him. And if he goes off, you're going to hear about it.
All right, man.
So
just like we heard about Glasnow
and Anderson. But I did get Freeland right, so telling you.
Oh, man. I'm just saying, like, if you want to be at the top, if you want to play safe and be at the top of your GPP, you know, you don't play against studs, you don't play pitchers and cores, you know.
No, I think if you want to get to the top of your GPP, you got to get contrarian, and that's where Kyle Freeland was, and he won me.
Maybe with your pitcher, okay. I mean, I can get behind with your pitcher, but with hitters, I don't think there's a such thing as contrarian in baseball. I think
I agree with that. I
think if you wanted to stack the Tigers yesterday because they hit Chris Sale, you know, maybe, but like, is it really going to get you to first place?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't play contrarian batters. I play contrarian pitchers, and I've already won 2 GPPs this year doing it with Freeland, and
yeah, no, I can get on board with that, but
so that's my take on it. Again, you don't.
I think a contrarian pitcher today that I'm looking at is
I think Pomeranz is a good one, man. I don't think people are going to be on Pomeranz.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think Peralta again. Only him is going to be on Toronto. I mean, him on Toronto, and then Straley against Atlanta, just straight up bombed his first start. Now he's playing Atlanta at home.
True that. I can get there as well.
But definitely a hitter's park. I mean, a pitcher's park.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely not a hitter's park. I personally am not going to Straley. I'm going to go to Antonio, and then I have a Drew Pomeranz as well. Those are my 2 pitchers of the day that are contrarian. I think Shark is the cash pitcher of the day again.
Again, I'm just saying, I think you can be safe. You can go contrarian and be safer than playing Antonio by playing some of the other guys, you know, and getting similar ownership.
That's fair. I'm targeting San Diego strikeouts. San Diego.
Targeting San Antonio's turnovers today.
Texas and LA, man. Cole Hamels on the hill versus this LA team.
So is he like a lock, you think?
I don't know if he's a lock. LA doesn't strike out, so there's that. I'll tell you his strikeout projections. It's not good.
Yeah, he's not a big strikeout pitcher anymore. I mean,
he's only projected for 4.6 strikeouts. And, you know, naturally you would think, oh, that's low for Cole Hamels. It could be. Justin Verlander was projected for 4.5 yesterday. So
what's the pricing like on FanDuel with give me your top 5 price guys on FanDuel.
Pitchers?
Yeah.
Hamels at 9.5, Gio at 8.9, Harvey at 8.7, Shark at 8.6, and Happ at 8.5.
Shark.
Samardzija.
Oh, okay. Didn't get that. Yeah, DK, it's Hamels 10K, Robbie Ray 9.2, Jeff Samardzija 8.9, Jameson Tyone 8.4, Matt Harvey 8.3.
Interesting. They have Robbie Ray all the way down at 7.5, below Bartolo Colon.
Yeah. No, Robbie Ray is 9.2, Bartolo Colon is 6.6.
Crazy. So
crazy.
Cole Hamels expensive. I don't think I go there. I actually like Shark better versus Arizona in San Francisco for the price. I think you can get savings and get some strikeouts versus Arizona. He historically does relatively well versus them. He gave up 2 home runs last time, but that was in Arizona. I think the ball travels obviously a lot worse in San Francisco. So I'm not personally not on Cole Hamels at all today. He won't be in any of my lineups.
Not a big fan of Jeff Samardzija, just in general. And then you just look at, like you said, gave up. I'm seeing 3 home runs against Arizona.
Was it 3? Okay, I thought it was 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think he looked well he looked like he was pitching well at first, and then like second or third time through the order they got to him.
Okay.
But again, guy's got a track record. Arizona, they're playing well to start the season. I think that might be enough for me. Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about Robbie Ray either. Like, it's tough for me even to pick one or the other at their prices, Like, maybe if they were down a little bit lower, I could go there. I'm definitely still considering Cole Hamels for this slate as the hot top price pitcher. Again, I like Jameson Tyone. Even at 8,400 against Cincinnati, I was impressed by his first start, like I said. Considering Matt Harvey. because of what he's done, and maybe he is back.
Yeah.
So
in play. Do you look
if he's back, he's considerably underpriced. Gio, we talked about him against St. Louis, who's not playing well. I think all three of those guys are in play in the same price range. And I think that's kind of where I'm going for my top pitcher. Obviously, having to play 2 on DraftKings.
Looks like I got the lineups now. Let's see. So we got Rockies and Padres. I'll edit that real quick. So we have Blackman, LeMahieu, Cargo, Arenado, Parra. I believe it's Christian. Adonis. Is it Christian? Adonis? I don't know.
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
I think that's right.
I don't have any stats on him. Tony Walters, obviously. Oh, fuck. I messed it up. Mark Reynolds is batting 6th, not Christian.
Chris, Thian.
What is
C-R-I.
it? C-R-I?
The H is after the T and not after the C.
Just fucking spell it.
Christhian.
Gotcha. There we go. Oh, nope, still no stats on him. Wait, where the fuck is the H? You said there's an H in there?
T is after the H. I'm sorry, the H is after the T.
What the fuck?
Might be a Jan Hervis situation.
What the fuck? I'm just gonna look it up. No, it doesn't make sense.
The H is after the T.
That doesn't make sense.
In Christian. I mean, does Jan Hervis make sense?
No. All right. Well, it worked. We do have stats on him. Nothing great there. Don't play him.
All up for that for nothing.
Captain
Tony Walters, though, cheap punt.
Absolutely, always a cheap punt.
Looking for cheap catchers. Actually, he's probably not cheap. Actually, think about it.
No,
actually, for a player in Coors, 3,100 is pretty cheap.
We have the same exact lineup as yesterday for the Padres. Oh, I'm sorry, they brought Hedges back at catcher. Renfroe stayed hot yesterday too, man, and Margot. Both of them had nice games.
If you want to hedge your bet with Walters, maybe you go Hedges. See?
Jesus Christ.
That was not a good one.
It was. That's a joke that I laugh at, but
I'm sure somebody's laughing somewhere, and thank you for that, guy. Appreciate it. Let me know.
Andrelton is batting 5th. That is interesting. Cameron Maybin. At 7, they have Jeffrey Marte. And then Danny Espinoza and Maldonado. All right, so those are your lineups. So back to this game. Cole Hamels, yeah. You can play him. I'm not on him personally. And then Tyler Skaggs, I don't think you look at it all, right? Actually, you know what? The lefties...
LA is favored in this game, believe it or not.
That's crazy to me. You know what? I take back what I said. Skaggs does not give up home runs, and he is in a massive pitcher's park at night. And the Texas lefties do not hit lefties well. So.
Sounds like you're talking yourself into it, man.
I might, dude.
Let's see. Skaggs. Where are you at, bro? Skaggs, 7,800. That's not cheap for Mr. Skaggs. Again, he is favored in this game, which is, I don't know how much I agree with that, but I do trust Vegas. With the implied point totals here. But I mean, who other than Mike Trout do we feel super excited about?
No one.
So why are they favored? There's got to be a reason.
I don't know, man. Vegas knows better than
Vegas
we do.
Stupid.
Vegas is
there's got to be something in there.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so that's why I started looking into it. I was like, come on, what am I missing here? Off the Angels. And I couldn't figure it out, so.
All right, Houston. Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No,
I'm not stacking.
Maybe Escobar. I mean, Escobar's off to a good start. He's got 8 hits in his last 3 games.
Yeah.
With 2 doubles and a homer.
Versus a lefty. It's relatively.
Maybe you go some Escobar Trout.
It's really a game I'm pretty much avoiding. I really want to stack either side, to be honest with you.
I might do that. I might have some Escobar Trout.
Okay.
Sounds like something I would order at a restaurant. Can I please have the broiled Escobar Trout?
What the fuck? Mike's feeling good today. He's in a good mood. Jesus.
You don't even know, man.
Musgrove and Miranda. So Theo is all over Miranda today. He has extreme reverse splits. Struggles mightily versus lefties. Good thing for him.
Yeah.
There are no lefties in Houston's lineup. There are 2 lefties on their entire team. So, and righties can, like, Safeco Park is a place where righties go to die. So, do you look at Miranda today with these reverse splits?
The reverse splits are real. And I hope Theo... Oh, wait, Theo doesn't have a girlfriend anymore. I was going to say, I hope Theo told his girlfriend about Miranda. But maybe him and Miranda are getting it on.
Fuck. He's been talking up Miranda all damn day.
We'll just call him Mermaid Ariel.
Mermaid. You should.
The mermaid with the reverse splits is real, guys. I mean, 198 average. I mean, again, we don't really tend to look at average, but that is below the Mendoza line. Maybe we'll start to call it the Miranda line for pitchers after this season.
I don't have words.
Don't worry.
I don't have words anymore.
But you're right, man. They do go to die. I kind of hope Carlos Correa doesn't die, though, because he's pretty fun to watch.
Jose Altuve hasn't done shit this year. George Springer is really the only guy that I look at on Houston because he just owns left-handed batting. But again, it is in Safeco, and I usually tend to give. I usually tend to give that battle to a pitcher. So.
Joe Musgrove, any love?
Yeah, I do like Musgrove actually.
Yeah, I liked him again. I don't know how well he obviously didn't do well against Houston. Or was it against Houston? Yeah, it was, I think. No, not against Houston. Seattle, sorry. Let's look at the stats. 84 pitches, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a homer, 3 walks, 2 Ks, 7 ground balls, 7 fly balls. For 6 fantasy points. Yeah, too much money for Musgrove. I think I'd rather play Skaggs at that price.
It's fair. I can get behind Skaggs today. I don't know why, but again, I'm still Pomeranz.
Skaggs or Straley?
Oh, Skaggs, easily.
Skaggs or Hep?
Skaggs, because I'm stacking Brewers in a lineup, so I obviously can't go against myself.
Cool.
Skaggs or Antonio? Antonio.
What is Skaggs' price on FanDuel? Because that's not even a question on DraftKings.
Let's see.
Antonio's 5K, Skaggs is 7,800.
Skaggs is 71, and Antonio is 5'9".
So, the punts, again, I guess maybe you go Miranda at 61, the punts, Peralta. Again, I'm only even considering him because he played well against Colorado in Miller Park, and now he gets a struggling Toronto team. But I don't feel confident about it. It's just a cheap guy. I think my second pitcher is going to come out of this Straley, Pomeranz, Bundy triumvirate. And then my more expensive guy is going to be a Tyone, Harvey, or Gio. Or I might just go 2 out of those 3 and not even punt.
That's fair. So do you stack either side here? Haniger, for some fucking reason, is still 2K on FanDuel.
Mitch Haniger.
How? He's still minimum salary. I do not know, but...
Yeah, it's crazy. I think look at those numbers, man. Boom, 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 boom. All of them.
So Haniger is always a punt play. I mean, the WOBA is crazy. The ISO is crazy.
Let's see. Haniger... What's he been doing? Not much, I don't think, right? Not bad.
No,
he's actually got.
No, he's got a couple home runs. I'm sorry, not. He has been doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm surprised he's still at minimum salary. He's got like 3 home runs.
2 home runs in his last 3 games. 3 of his last 5. Throwing a double. He's actually has a 5-game hitting streak going as well. Yeah. So 3,400 for him on DraftKings. He is pretty fairly priced, I would say. 3,400.
Yeah. On FanDuel, 2K, man. I'm telling you, that's a good punt right there. Lastly, we got Arizona and San Francisco.
I was just going to mention real quick on the other side. It seems like yesterday the bats on Seattle woke up.
Yep, Cano, Cruz,
and I don't know that
Seager.
Segura is going to be in the starting lineup today. He left the last game with a hamstring injury. He's considered day-to-day, but that was mid-game last night. Obviously, Cano, Cruz had nice games yesterday. Could it be, back at home, bats woke up,
True.
Definitely some...
something to watch. Okay, so mentioned Shark. Again, I like him, especially at home, man. Look at these numbers at home. 295 OBP, 300 WOBA. Strikes out a good amount at home. Fly ball rate of 35%. So I like Shark at home.
I really like that nickname for him. He doesn't seem like a shark.
I mean, he's got enough money to be a shark.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if.
But as far as like comparing his pitching style to fish in the ocean, I don't think shark would be the first one I would go to.
I don't know. I think he's on a hunt today for these Arizona bats.
Oh, I see what you did there. Touche.
So
I hope he misses some of them, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I hope he's a bad shark and cannot hunt correctly.
No, I hope he does. I hope he.
Well, if he's hunting for bats, then he misses them. That's a good thing, right?
I feel like you're making this more complicated than it needs to be.
All right, let's look at some numbers. Left-handers do go into Jeff Samardzija a bit.
Yes, they do.
So, can we look at that at all? We have.
I mean, Jake Lamb and David Peralta. Yeah, it's really the only left-handed bats.
But I mean, these are left-handed numbers here too. If you're not even looking at right and left here, if you're looking at the numbers, that's what they do against righties, right?
Yes.
So, I guess weigh it as you will. Arizona's pretty starting pretty hot this year. Let's actually look at those numbers.
I mean, all these guys 1 through 4 WOBAs are great versus righties, regardless of bat hand, right? Pollock 347, Peralta 353, Goldschmidt 380, Lamb 340, and then it drops off. Then you don't have anybody. I mean, Drury's don't play, but I don't like them as much against righties.
For what it's worth, I'll do top 3 OPS as far as teams go in the early going, because I think OPS is probably
on base plus slugging
more fantasy relevant than average.
Mm-hmm.
Nationals number 1 at 88.5. Diamondbacks number 2 at 82.7. Philadelphia Phillies number 3 at 80.7. But they've had a pretty easy schedule in the beginning of the year. But Diamondbacks and Nationals, I think you can look at. I mean, I don't think you could have predicted Diamondbacks to be a red hot offensive team as 8 games into the season.
I agree with you. Captain Jenks is on DK. He has Palm, but who do you like for a second pitcher? Gio, Ray, Skaggs, Taillon, or Harvey? I think Gio.
Yeah, I think it's between Taillon, Harvey, and Gio. Whatever you're thinking, I think Cincinnati's the worst team. If you want to go into that, obviously Taillon's the one that's been most unproven. I think Harvey has the most upside, and Gio is the safest. Would you agree?
I do agree. All right, so let's bring this back real quick. Give me your top 3 pitchers on the slate. Give me your pitchers regardless of price. Give me your pitchers that you are
Who's going to
playing.
score the most points?
Not even most. Who's going to get the best points per dollar? Let's put it that way. Value. Who's going to give you the best points per dollar out of your pitchers today?
Okay. I think you talked me into Pomerantz a bit, as much as I hate to say it. But power righties, man, in Boston. Drew Pomerantz. So it does scare me a bit.
GPP play.
And then so Harvey, I kind of just took myself off Harvey just reading off that OPS number. So the Phillies have, but then again, you just think about who they've played.
Pitchers haven't
they
been
played
aces.
The Reds and who else? Reds and
I forget the other team.
Man, dude, why can't I think of this? Somebody help us out. I know what hasn't been good teams. So maybe the Mets aren't that good either. So actually, I could help myself out here. I don't need you guys.
While Mike is doing this and he looks, if you guys haven't already, please give the video a.
They played Washington, so.
Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Obviously, not everything helps. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. And also, if you guys are interested in these sheets, which have much more than just these slate breakdowns, obviously has all the BVP history, the batter matchups, which is our matchup WOBA. Key. I'm telling you guys, use this. The BVP matchups. Yes. This has all your stats if you really want to get into that. Again, this is pretty advanced shit in terms of the stats. I'm just saying it looks overwhelming. I mean, you see all these numbers, but for those that like to look into it, I got all the pitcher splits here, batting projections, DK for both sides, and pitching, which has everything. So if you guys are interested in that, and of course, the best part of all is Slack. You guys get access to our Slack group, which is the place to be. I'm telling you, best DFS community out there.
Absolutely. Shout out to all you guys holding it down. Again, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're unsure about if you like the video,
give it a thumbs up anyway.
Don't give it a thumbs down. Just there's no thumb sideways. So just leave it, I guess.
Did you
come back tomorrow? Maybe you like it then. So yeah, I did figure it out actually. I think I'm going to go Tyone, Harvey, Gio. Then I'm going to go...
Okay.
Actually, no. I lied. I'm going to go Tyone, Gio, Pomerantz, Harvey.
Okay. My top one of the day is Shark. Going Shark. My second is Pomerantz. And my third is going to be actually Miranda. I like Miranda, but...
The Mermaid. I like that.
But the guy I'm still going to play in a lineup is going to be Antonio. And if he does anything close to value, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic. So.
Yeah, I could get behind Miranda as well. I think Miranda and Peralta are intriguing punts to me.
But I guess if you want to add 4 Skags, give me your...
Actually, I could get behind Buchholz as a punt, too, believe it or not.
No, thank you. I'm going to let you keep that one. Give me your top 3 stacks, and by stack, at least 3 guys.
Okay. Let me get to the lineup page. So, because obviously stacking has a lot to do with batting order, correct?
Yep.
So, I like a Miami stack today against Bartolo Colon.
I'm with that. All over that.
I like a 1-3 Philly against Matt Harvey.
Okay.
I also like... I want to stack somewhere in this game, this Boston game, but I don't really know where to go yet. It's tough. It's going to be an expensive stack, and I feel like if I'm going to go expensive, I should just stick to the San Diego Colorado game. Jared Weaver, Antonio Senzatella. So we should just kind of go there. If I had to pick, I think it'd be Colorado. I think I would just stick with the 1 through 4 there. I mean, I think you can go Blackman. I like Blackman, Cargo, Arenado, and then Prara, then LeMahieu.
Okay.
And then Tony Walters is a play if you want to just get a one-off in that game. I like him. And then obviously there's power on the other side too. So pick and choose what you like there. I'd follow Woba that's telling you Schimpf. ISO 30%, 309 ISO.
So my favorite stacks, Miami for sure. I like D. Gordon, Giancarlo Stanton, JT Realmuto, and then Justin Bour. I love, obviously, a Colorado stack versus Jared Weaver. It's expensive, but I can do it, especially with Antonio as my pitcher. And then I like a Milwaukee stack, actually, Mike. I like VR, Braun, Travis Shaw, Jesus you can look at as well. So
yeah, we talked about Milwaukee. I do like that. Also, we talked about the Ian Harper 2-man. I like that.
Yep.
I don't know that I go
with that as well.
Again, I don't know if I go Daniel Murphy just because of the price. If I had to pick, I would prefer Ian Harper. I think 2-man. I think I do like the Baltimore 2-man with Jones and Machado. Dude, you can go there in Boston.
This lineup is stacked. I have Antonio in a line. And then my catcher, JT Realmuto, Mitch Moreland at first, Jonathan VR, Nolan Arenado, Xander Bogaerts. I liked actually what you said about Moreland and Bogaerts back-to-back. And then Blackman, Stanton, and Braun.
So there's really no stack there, is there?
Arenado.
VR and Braun, I guess.
VR and Braun, Stanton and Realmuto, Moreland and Bogaerts, and then Arenado, Blackman. I literally have 4.
So just a bunch of 2-mates.
Yep.
I like that. Again, it's all hinged on your pitcher, though.
Yep.
Boom or bust.
It is.
There's no cashing and double ups if he does not perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way he's gonna get you 10 strikeouts and get you.
He's not a cash.
Like, even if your pitchers, even if your hitters go off.
He's not a cash pitcher at all. He's literally I'm either gonna place in this GPP or I'm not with him.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm looking at. So.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's do because I want to. If you guys feel inclined to use this today.
Inclined.
Let's look at some of the best matchup wobas. Let's take that out and sort.
Francisco Lindor, check.
Yeah, right. Tom Murphy, Brett Nick. So obviously some of these guys aren't playing, right? Look at Freddie Freeman versus Dan Straley, 423. Damn. Francisco Lindor, 408. Joey Rickard not playing. Neil Walker versus Clay Buchholz, interesting, 401.
He's off to a pretty poor start, but
Todd Frazier just hit a home run. That's awesome.
Good for him. He's a Jersey boy.
That hurts a little bit. Andrew Benintendi, obviously very small sample size. I don't think you put this into effect yet. Mookie Betts versus Dylan Bundy, 395. Jose Bautista.
Interesting.
Versus Willie Peralta, 395. And again, so more than just matchup WOBA, look at all the boxes to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it green across the board? Look at Andrew Benintendi. Again, it's a small sample size. Let's look at Francisco Lindor. Matchup WOBA.
Well, no, I was going to say, look at these 3 outfielders, right? You have Benintendi, Betts, and Bautista. Their matchup WOBA is .005 apart. But everything is saying play Benintendi.
Yeah, he has a higher ISO,
because you're looking,
higher hard
use
contact.
it as kind of you look at it as like a tiebreaker between players at the same position.
So look at, obviously Trevor Story's out, but I mean, this was green across the board. Love that. George Springer. Now, this is also where I think you have to take into account
park factor.
Yep. This does not account for park factor. So that is the one flaw it has, is park factor. Carlos
JD
Perez.
Martinez, if only he was playing.
Right. Tony Walters, look at this, 382, Mike. 209 ISO. So you talk about that punt play. if you can consider him a punt with his price. Michael Brantley had a good one. He's playing right now. Russell Martin has a good one, but again, he's struggling.
He's back home in Canada. Maybe he feels at home.
Look at Stanton, man. Stanton green across the board. And I said I think he's due. So that's where I'm looking. So again, just a way to use this tool.
Tom Murphy, if only.
Right. I can't wait for him to get into the league or to get back. So, again, this is only going to be available on the video. I'm only going to show stuff like this on the videos for probably another week. So just so you guys kind of get a feel and explanation of how we use it. But then after that, it will be. I won't go through anything past the game sheets on the video. And you are more than welcome to sign up for that. Of course, you get the free 7-day trial. Jan says, where does one grab this spreadsheet? So that is part of the subscription. Click the link down below in the description. It'll take you to PayPal. Sign up there. As soon as you sign up, it'll automatically invite you into our Slack group and add you to the email list, which will give you the link to get this Google Sheet.
Someone's talking about ballpark in AT&T. Is it righties or lefties at the Wind, really?
Where?
At AT&T Park.
It affects lefties
San Francisco?
more than righties. The wind coming in
righties.
from the Cove. Yeah, coming in from right field.
Yeah. And that's a good point, too. I think something that is not done enough is just eliminating games off of your pool. And like I said, that won me a lot of money in basketball. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it in baseball. Obviously, pitching matchups, Ray versus Samardzija, I think is, just like on this slate, just like Verlander versus Sale, it might just be beneficial to your lineup construction to just eliminate that game.
Yep. So, all right. Well, we're about to head off to class, both of us. So we will see you guys in Slack. Good luck on your lineups today, and we will talk to you soon.